Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Become the Disruptor. My name is Magda. I'm a qualified trauma-informed therapist, and today we're going to be talking about highly intelligent people and what is actually their major, almost like a question that when they show up in my therapeutic sessions, they either ask it directly on it or it is asked somewhere between the lines. But the question is, if I am so intelligent, why can't I build the life that I truly want? Why I don't even know sometimes what I want. So why do I still end up in relationships that are pretty much the same and never fulfilling for me, never really meeting my needs or rarely meeting my needs? Why do I keep adapting to people who are not meeting me? And I'm not talking about the cognitive meeting, like, so someone who is equally intelligent. No, someone who can be present with you, someone who can help you, who can support you emotionally. That's what I'm talking about. Why almost like your understanding of yourself keeps growing, but life literally just stays the same and does not truly fulfill you and nourish you? Because there are almost like two types of intelligence, and this is where the answer lies. Because the intelligence, you can possess intelligence, but how you use it, that is the key. How your innate intelligence is being used. And intelligence can be used for either adaptation and survival or for building the life. Now, let me then define, I guess, what that adapting intelligence looks like, so you can see how does your intelligence basically allow you to survive in a very chaotic environment. So if you had been brought up, if you had complex PTSD, if you had been brought up in a really chaotic, abusive, neglectful environment from the get-go, your intelligence will be used to read people, to scan for danger, to predict conflict, to predict danger. So hypervigilance, yes, to avoid emotional conflict or confrontation. To basically, your intelligence is being used to adapt and survive and maintain stability in that chaotic environment. So it is a very sophisticated intelligence nonetheless. However, the usage of it is when you keep on tripping up. So you have to start using that, you have to start using your intelligence to build the life that you want. And this is slightly different. So it looks more like, so the building intelligence will look like you setting adequate and correct boundaries with people in your life. You are using your intelligence to make strategic decisions, to make structural decisions, to make good decisions that support you as a person. Not only other people, but you. You are able to use that intelligence to create structures in your life that will support you, that will help you. And you are able, due to that intelligence, you can use it to choose the relationships that are nourishing you. Not exhausting, not extracting that intelligence from you, but actually nourishing you. Because what happens is that when people start using their own intelligence for adaptation, it's just continue throughout the life. So you start using your intelligence as a child. You could be, one of those children that will be like, she's so intelligent, or he's so intelligent, they're so intelligent. And, those children are getting a lot of almost like, self-esteem from that. So your self-esteem is being fed from the intelligence that you do possess innately. However, the way you're using that is for adaptation and survival. So even when your life circumstances maybe are changing, that intelligence and the usage of it can still be used for, survival and adapting. And that's why you cannot really build the life that you want. So you kind of wake up and you're like, why am I in the same life again and again? And this is, a lot of the times is I can really see my clients being very angry, frustrated, and resentful for right reasons, because why their intelligence does not show up as results, a proper results that would fulfill them in their life. And this is where the actual, I would say, directed therapy can be helpful for you. So, but the therapy that is not looking for insight or more analysis or philosophizing about life, but the therapy that will help you, first of all, to look at your patterns and then think about, okay, which pattern I actually want to change. So you focus on one pattern and you're like, okay, this is where this pattern I'm going to change, which then will require from you to change your behavior, change your actions, and to change your decision-making process, which is a lot, as you can see. So you choose different actions, different behaviors, and your nervous system, you're learning through that. Your nervous system is learning through that to absorb the consequences of these new actions and these new behaviors. You'll start tolerating the emotional and psychological discomfort that you will feel. Because guys, when you set healthy boundaries, when you actually build the life that you truly want, and you have people in your life who benefited from using your intelligence and extracting your intelligence in a way that doesn't really benefit you and doesn't support you, they will call you selfish. They will call you sometimes horrible things. And your nervous system needs to tolerate that emotional upheaval on their part and still do your own work, still carry on and being consistent with your new behavior. And this is, where therapy needs to be targeted and directed. So you have to, it's like, let's say I'll have different clients showing up with different problems, different strategic problems in their life, whether that is people pleasing, overthinking, ruminating, loads of different things. We pick one pattern and then they need to have almost like, because we will introduce during that first session, we will introduce some action plan that will be not overwhelming to the nervous system, but just about right. And then they need to have like 3-4 weeks to start experimenting with those new behaviors and those new actions and see how their nervous system is feeling and see how they are able to tolerate those consequences and the discomfort that will be felt on a visceral level by you. And then when you feel like, okay, I feel like I absorbed that, I am now ready to change the next pattern. And the thing is that when you start changing those patterns one by one, you will see the compounding effect of that change. So your life will start changing. And guys, I saw that because, my clients, stepped into a completely new relationships, bought a house, changed a profession. So there were different people, or changed the workplace. Sometimes they had to really move out to another city to change the workplace. But the bottom line is their life actually changed and they started living the life that had been fulfilling for them. And some people will call it, this is maybe coaching, this is manifestation. No, guys, manifestation and coaching still relies on the same principle, on your nervous system and your brain predictions. Because also remember, when you start changing your actions, your brain will start predicting different behaviors towards you. So you will no longer going to be focusing, oh my God, someone's going to be horrible to me. No, you're going to start predicting if someone is not horrible, I'm just walking away. If someone is horrible, I'm just walking away. And this is there's no negotiation in there. Maybe they had a bad day, maybe this. You don't negotiate with people who are not good for you. You stop that altogether. So this is, let's say, one example, but there'll be different examples, like I said, with different patterns. So that's where therapy needs to be, like I said, targeted and directed. And, the real question is not about how intelligent you are. No, it's how you are using your intelligence to build the life that you want, how your intelligence is currently organized around what? Around adaptation or around building the life that you truly want? And do you even know what that life is and how that life is going to look like? That is also, a question that a lot of people sometimes don't know. So we can start from that and we can almost start already there, changing the behavior, because they will be maybe I would want, I don't know, everything that I want, but maybe I would like to have one really good friend. Okay, perfect. Let's start from that. So what sort of acquaintances, what's the current situation? So we're bringing it back to the current situation, and current situation really reveals the past, because it reveals the current situation will be the imprint of your past behaviors, of your past actions. It will, like I said, sometimes during the sessions, clients will get dysregulated and will get triggered because I'll be asking very direct questions. But this is when your nervous system is starting tolerating and learning how to tolerate emotional discomfort, that there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable in front of a safe adult. And you're teaching your nervous system with each session, each directed session, and not that many frequent sessions, to tolerate certain discomforts and eventually to get the life that you want. And even if you don't know what life you want, you definitely know at least one thing. You might know, like, yeah, maybe I want like a really good friend, maybe I would like a partner. And then we're looking at the patterns from that particular area of your life, and this is when a lot of things are being revealed, and you will see like how a lot of things actually do connect. You start connecting your own dots, plus changing the behavior. So I trust that was helpful. If you want to book a session with me specifically, you've got the links down below. Otherwise, like, share, and subscribe, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye bye.